Yo, yo, it's Kevin Kenny live in New York City. This is the Build series. And the last time I saw our guest today was out in Chicago, actually, in September, when he did a great set out at Riot Fest. He's got a brand new album entitled Kick, out and available everywhere now. Please give it up for Dave Hause.
Cheers.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Isn't this always funny at the top of one of these interviews where we have to act like we didn't just see each other backstage?
Yeah, it's peculiar, but we just pick right off up where we left off.
What brings you to town? Let's start there.
Well, we got asked to play in, where the hell is the town? Somewhere in New Jersey, at the Starland Ballroom with Taking Back Sunday tomorrow night.
Oh, you're doing the Taking Back Sunday. Yeah, this is fantastic. This is a yearly thing. It's like a holiday spectacle out in Jersey.
Yeah, and so they asked us to play one of the shows, and we said sure.
That's so cool.
And then I just was in the area, you know, hanging. We did some sessions yesterday and did this today. And
that's great.
Play the show tomorrow.
Build, this show that we're on right now, started a bunch of drama with Taking Back Sunday. And Michael Rappaport, you know the actor Michael Rappaport?
I do, yeah.
So he's famously on this intro to a Taking Back Sunday song.
Okay.
And I guess we brought it up here on Build, and he had no idea. And then it went on social media, and Taking Back Sunday interacted with it. So
did they
bring that up backstage? I don't know.
Did they become sued?
No, I was I wanted him to pull up to a show and do the intro live. It's a monologue from he's in A Beautiful Girls. It's a 90s movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Do you know the TBS guys well, or how?
Not well. I've met them. They've actually come to a couple shows I've played, and I think we were both on tour in Ohio or something.
Yeah.
They had a day off, and they came to see me and my friend Corey Brandon.
Oh, that's awesome.
A show. I met them in that capacity, and maybe at Riot Fest, same day as I saw you.
Totally.
They were playing, and we said hello, but I don't know them well. We haven't toured.
Yeah.
Just a couple shows or festivals.
Yeah.
But they've always been nice. And when I used to drink, we played Reading Festival, my old band.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they were like,
over in the UK.
Come on in, we got the good dressing room. And gave us a bunch of booze or whatever. So
I could imagine they're big fans of you because I can almost hear you in their newer stuff.
I hope. I mean, we'll see tomorrow.
Yeah. No, that'll be fun. And then you're also back in Jersey, I think, on the 28th. If you're local, you're at Crossroads in Garwood.
Yeah, we have a show there. We've been doing every year some kind of holiday-ish show at Crossroads in Garwood. I always get them mixed up. I go, we're going to play Crossroads.
Yeah.
In Garwood or whatever.
Yeah.
But, it's a random little spot. My friend Andy started promoting shows there maybe 5 years ago or more when the Asbury Lane closed down in New Jersey. And for whatever reason, the shows do well. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's like a little chicken finger shack or whatever. You know.
I once did a trivia night there back in the day.
Oh, you
from
know,
New Jersey.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I know
there.
Crossroads.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what it was until we played, and the show went well, and we keep doing them. So
it's awesome. Yeah, the New Jersey bar scene's on fire these days. Garth Brooks is doing shows in New Jersey Dives.
Is he? I hope not the same night as ours.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little competition.
So we're wrapping up the year that way, and then we do a proper tour
in February.
Yeah, we're starting in Vancouver and ending in Philly.
Nice.
So it's like a full U.S. tour on this latest record.
Yeah,
and it'll sort of. I guess it'll tie the record up for the most part. It came out in April, so you get maybe 8 months.
A year worth, though. That's good.
What's that?
No, it's been a year with the record.
A year worth of work is great, yeah.
I feel like you love touring in the winter. I heard a crazy story how you and your brother played in, I think it was actually in Asbury Park, some venue with no heat one time.
That was the Asbury Lanes, yeah, which closed, and then that little chicken finger shack began doing shows.
Yeah.
I don't love it, but I guess for whatever reason, when my second record came out, the strategy was everybody tours in the fall, so let's tour in the winter, and you're more apt to have people come out when, a giant band is not playing.
Right.
So we kind of got used to that, and I don't know, it sort of ends up just lining up with when records come out, but I don't love being out in the winter. It's a little dangerous, and but I mean, any kind of work like that you can get is good. So, to be able to do a full U.S. tour on this record will be great. With
headlining, you're doing Bowery Ballroom here in the city, which is an amazing venue.
I love that place. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I remember when I was maybe 20, I was selling T-shirts for this punk band from Philly, and it was during CMJ.
Yeah.
And I ran down to the Bowery Ballroom to see At the Drive-In and the Foo Fighters play. Wow. Yeah, it was crazy that was even happening, and your badge could get you into other shows or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just finagled my way in there and watched like this incredible gig. Bowery's great. I love playing there. I'm excited for the show. Our friends The
Totally.
Explosion are opening, so
Oh, that's great.
yeah,
Yeah. I guess dates are online. We can go check those out
they
across
are
your social
online.
media.
Yeah.
And speaking of social media, I want to talk about this album and really the inspiration behind it. Is it too much to say that a majority of sort of the inspiration for this was sort of you looking at the growth of technology, the speed of the internet, the speed of communication, social media, and maybe its effect on people?
I mean, I think all that's baked into it. I don't know if it's specific to social media. It just seems to be where culture is. I mean, it's been crazy the last couple of years to be an American, to be a working American. I'm from humble working class roots, and to see how, working people are navigating life politically and socially and then with technology sort of amplifying it all, it's definitely a strange world we're living in. And it feels, I mean, it's easy to feel like you're drowning.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's
so-
easy to feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You know?
And so the record was sort of born out of that anxiety, I guess, last year. And my wife and I were pregnant with twins when I was writing this record. So
Well, you found out towards the end, right? Wasn't the record almost done when you found out?
no. Well, it was almost done being written.
That's what I
And we
mean. I
recorded
guess
it a
you
couple
had
months
written
later.
almost all the record.
Yeah, and so I knew things were going to change, and thought, maybe these topics that are, close to my heart now might not be next year. I might be totally just changing diapers and fixated on my kids as people get, when they have twins. In the first
Rightfully
couple years.
so.
So I wanted to get this batch done and this batch out before, I make a Curious George record or something,
So that's interesting. You didn't scrap what you had written
No.
in favor of whatever new emotions or new experiences you were going through. It was more like a sense of urgency. Like, let's document this before something new comes along.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just increasingly hard to hold on to your values and how you want the world to shape in the modern era, So what kind of person do you want to be? What kind of brother, or now in this case, dad or husband or whatever, friend? All that was sort of on my mind writing this record.
Why do you think that's harder now?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe technology has amplified people's options or has given people this sense of odd connection that's not exactly real.
Right.
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, that's some of the stuff we were sort of grinding on when we were writing. I wrote the whole record with my brother, actually,
Right.
which was a new experience.
And what did that writing process look like? Was it you guys just kind of like talking and having conversations and realizing, oh, that's a song?
Yeah, there was a lot of that, and then there was a lot of just like the nuts and bolts of FaceTime writing. Getting on the same screen and singing the next lyric, or what if the melody went like this? Like that happened a lot, and then we got in the same room a bunch as the batch started to develop.
Well, therein lies the great irony, though, right? Of
Right.
technology.
Right.
Like there's so much bad, but then there's also so much good. And
Yeah. I mean, they're tools. All that stuff is a tool, and how you use your tools are, that's sort of what makes the human or whatever.
totally.
But they are weird tools that we have now.
Well, it's weird times. I mean, I'm so with you on the overwhelming feeling that social media really gives you, because I feel like when you intake information as a human and that goes in your brain, there's some sort of like a responsibility we feel for that. You know what I mean? Because we just processed it, So then it just feels like, you have all these responsibilities and you're supposed to know all this stuff, and it's just it never ends. You know what I mean?
It's a strange time to be alive. It's a great time to be alive too, but it definitely feels often like the water level's right here. Whatever you're doing is.
Do you think it's always felt like that? Like in the moment? I know, in retrospect, rose-colored glasses, it always seems so simple, but
Not for me. It's not always felt like that for me.
okay,
It's definitely more of a recent thing.
right.
I don't know. Do you remembered it?
No, I think of just think of artists we probably both love, and just what the times they were writing in that we look back on because we know the outcome of those times.
Yeah.
That we can kind of simplify it and take a deep breath and we weren't there in the moment. But I just wonder sometimes. I agree with you that that's how it feels, but I also wonder if that's always how it felt. I don't know, during tumultuous times.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That's a good point. I mean, The Clash felt this way. Bruce Springsteen felt this way.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go back, listen to some of those records. I want to highlight, before we run out of time, and I don't think we're close to running out of time, but I want to highlight Fireflies, because this song is so fantastic.
Oh,
I'm rarely as passionate about a song, but if anyone clicks off in 30 seconds, you first have to know about Fireflies. So can you just walk us through the creative process behind this?
Yeah. Well, a lot of the stuff we were just talking about, we were well aware was baked into the songs and baked into the record. And I kind of wanted a reprieve. And one thing that you'll find that is a little bit of a cheap trick when it comes to songwriting is nostalgia. It always works. Songwriters sort of throw shade on it.
It's hard to do well, though.
Well, it is.
It know?
Is. And so what I figured was, all right, well, rather than just writing a nostalgic song, like why do you crave nostalgia? And I think in this instance, it's because things do seem insane, and like there was a simpler time, whether or not it actually was or not. It feels that way.
Right.
And so I said, let's just try to write about that feeling. When it's like summertime.
Yeah.
And you saved all your money up from working. You might have $500, and you're like, I got $500. We can just cruise. And that's kind of what Fireflies came out of. It's a lot of that stuff happened. We would cut this fence open at this golf course near where I grew up, and we'd sneak in there and
Your
get
box
high.
of wine.
Yeah, with boxed wine, whatever. The kitchen staff, wherever we would work, would like give us for free. We'd go like get drunk on that, and they'd give us weed and whatever. And it was simple. We'd sneak back there, with our girlfriends, and
Totally.
it felt like writing about that felt a little simpler. And then I guess in the second verse it gets a little more hectic. It's a little more like, okay, well, what's it now? You sort of draw that contrast.
Yeah.
So
You've sort of beautifully also just sonically in the song that like captured the fleetingness of that simplicity.
Oh,
you can almost feel it like evaporate by the end of the song. I don't know.
yeah, well, I mean that's the weird thing about songs is like, I mean that's why it's so great you can replay them now.
It's like magic.
Ease.
Man. Not to be like corny, but
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about something I heard you say that was really cool about when you go out and you perform these songs and you put a record out like Kick. What songs live on from records is entirely not up to you. It's entirely in the hands of the audience, right? Of what they're going to choose to latch onto and what songs will stay in the set list, years. And
That's one of them.
right.
I mean, the response you had to that is what sort of happened on our first proper European tour. Everybody was like, Fireflies. Can you play that? And we played it in Philadelphia. We did 2 nights to roll the record out, and I sort of said something, I don't know, like self-consciously about it, like, oh, this is our prom dance song, or because like I'm from punk rock, and
Right.
to some degree, when you play a song like that, you assume somebody in the back of the room is going like, oh, the ballad, which nobody really does. Like they know what they're in for. They bought a ticket. But I made a comment like that, and a friend of mine who he and his friend turned me on to the Replacements, and like at a very young age, I would go into his record store, and he'd say like, don't buy that, buy this. And he pulled me aside after the show. He was like, don't speak ill of that song. Like, don't make play it and do it well.
Respect the song.
Yeah, he was like, it's great, and just own it. And he was right. And also, when I started to do that, I started to realize like how it was impacting people. So it's one of those things. You make a record and assume which ones are gonna do what, and then it always surprises.
Is it nerve-wracking, that sort of control being out of your hands, or is it liberating? Or like your
It's
work is
kind of
done.
both.
Yeah, is it both?
Yeah, I mean the whole thing can be nerve-wracking if you don't get your head right. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, this is my job, and to get this job, like get the job you wanted when you were like a little kid. I wanted to be the Lone Ranger or a firefighter or sing in a rock and roll band. And, and I'm too short for the NBA. So like to get the job that you want and then be nerve-wracked by it all the time, like you got to do the work to have the gratitude when the universe kind of gives you what you asked for.
That's awesome.
But yeah, the songs, to get back to your point,
Yeah.
the songs sort of pick themselves. It's weird.
Let's kick it to Twitter. It's going to come from one of your fans, Dave.
Where do you see Twitter?
There we go.
Oh.
Hey. I have a question for Dave. How do you decide which songs make it on the record? Hi from Germany. Now, Germany was who kind of helped make Fireflies
They did, yeah. See, Germans love Fireflies. How do I decide? Just the ones that rhyme. We just put those ones on. No, I don't know. There's tons and tons of songs that get made that no one's gonna hear, and I guess in the same way that we were just talking about, some just pop up, and Tim had the chorus for The Ditch, and I loved it, and I was like, that's gonna be one of them. Saboteurs was another obvious one. We were up in Buffalo playing a headline show on the last record, and I came up with that little riff, and you just kind of follow your own muse. I mean, who knows? Maybe some of the songs that you leave off would have been the ones that would land you. And
That'll just drive you nuts thinking like that.
Yeah, you just have to kind of put one foot in front of the other and trust your gut, and hopefully make stuff that you like to listen to, and then play them as well as you can. And
I hope Germany listens.
Yeah, thank God for Germany. They do listen. But yeah, the picking process is just kind of whatever the batch is and whatever sort of goes together, and that becomes the record.
Totally. Let's get to some fan questions here in New York. The first is going to come from over here.
Hi, thanks so much for coming to talk to us today.
Sure.
You just said there's a lot of songs that are out there that no one ever really gets to hear, which is definitely true just because of the volume of music that gets put out these days. Is there anything that you're listening to right now that you think might fit into that category that you're really loving?
There's a band called Warriors from New Jersey that is really great that I feel like should be more popular.
Female-led rock act, Warriors.
My friend Lauren is the singer.
Yes.
And they're terrific.
They have a song called "Life During Peacetime" that I think is fantastic.
So yeah, that would be one of them. I don't know. I think the weird thing is because we had kids, like I kind of don't have as much time. Like I'm finding out about Pete the Cat, which is a children's show that I think is terrific. And so that I can't really say that though, like, oh, you should check out Pete the Cat, because that's not what you're asking. But that's the world I'm kind of in right now, and I'm not as up to the minute on what's coming out that is great. But Northcote is a Canadian singer-songwriter. He does a great job and has great songs, and you should check him out. I don't know. What are you listening to?
My music tastes are very much in line with people not of my generation. I just listen to the Beatles and Billy Joel constantly. So
Well, see, this is
also
the
a little
problem.
basic though.
This is the problem. Like the Beatles are the greatest, and
I think so.
when I'm going to check out something new, I'm like, oh, this is okay, but I could listen to the Beatles, and especially with my little kids, that's what I want them to hear. So yeah, I'm kind of with you. And
I always love discovering new stuff though.
Yeah. I do too. I just haven't had a lot of time, if I'm honest. But check out Warriors.
I'll
They're
check
cool.
out Pete the Cat as well.
And Pete the Cat. Yeah. It's Elvis Costello's music that I think is driving the ship on that one. So that's cool.
Time for one more?
Hi. I was wondering what your go-to karaoke song is.
I like to go to the exit door. That's what I like to do.
Not a karaoke guy?
No, because I'm not that great of a singer, and so when you're at karaoke and you sing for a living, the expectation is like, oh, well, let's just give you Freddie Mercury, and I can't sing that. Neither can you, but you get paid to sing, that kind of thing. So, I like to go and watch. My wife likes to do karaoke. My best friend Dave loves to do karaoke. So I like to just chill. But then you sort of catch a bunch of flack. You're like, okay, singer guy, you're not going to sing. But the last time I did karaoke, I think we did Under the Sea. which was fun, you know, because I had little sisters growing up, and The Little Mermaid was always on. That was fun. I don't know. I'd like to watch and enjoy other people's joy at karaoke. I don't like to sing unless I'm getting paid.
It's kind of like anybody's job now I'm thinking about it, right? Like
Yeah,
the last
no,
thing you
I'm
want to do in your free
kidding. I'm
time,
mostly kidding.
though.
I just always feel like I'm not going to do that great of a job at it. And everyone else is like into it. They're like, we don't care. And they sound terrible most of the time. But I don't have that same like fervor for it. I'm much more like, I don't want to mess this up. So.
Sounds like you do a mean Sebastian, though.
Yeah. But pre sobriety, I did a great one.
All right. Unfortunately, we're out of time here, Dave. The record Kick is available and out everywhere now. And then tickets to tour, for the headline tour, are they on sale?
They are on sale. Yeah, we'll be
Fantastic.
back to New York City March 11th at the Bowery Ballroom, and we're playing most of the major cities in North America.
Cool.
From February 20th through March 14th.
Right on. And are you Friday or Saturday out in Jersey?
Oh, with Taking Back Sunday?
Yeah.
That's tomorrow. Yeah, whatever tomorrow.
I think that's sold out.
Probably.
Might be. But check online for that, too. Starline Ballroom. Guys, thanks so much. Dave, you're the man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. Cheers.